Greetings and welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team video, where today I'm going over the world's largest tournament for Kill Team, the Las Vegas Open. But before we get into things, please remember to like and subscribe as well as comment. Let me know what you thought of today's video. And remember, I've got a Discord you can check out for free in the episode description below, an affiliate link at Element Games, and an affiliate link and discount code at Crossfire Games, and a Patreon if you want to give me some more support. But let's get on with the video. So yeah, today I want to talk about the Las Vegas Open 2025. This is actually the biggest tournament in the world for Kill Team with 170 players, which actually beats the previous record holder that had 130 players, which was the Las Vegas Open 2024. So if you're unaware, this is being held at the Las Vegas Open. So this is a yearly tournament that has been going on for, I think, over 20 years or something like that. And it's kind of the premier competitive American event for not just Kill Team, but all kind of Games Workshop and tabletop games, primarily for Warhammer games, because Las Vegas Open is the last date and a venue in the world that gives you ITC points. So for the independent tournament circuit. So if you play competitively, you get points for playing. And then at the end of the year, well, at the end of LVO, not only do they do the awards for LVO, then they do the awards for the end of ITC season, which is partly why it's so popular, because you get this huge event that has thousands of players, and then you get the end for the ITC ranking. So events after on the same day, well, events on the same weekend as LVO don't grant ITC points, I believe. It's just for the Las Vegas Open. And then after the Las Vegas Open, I believe on the Sunday of the Las Vegas Open, people can earn points for the new season. But that's why it's so popular. It also has a huge painting competition, which they make a lot of money, those painters. I believe first place won like $10,000 last year, and me and the other Kill Teamers were going like, we're in the wrong game. It's not about playing. It's about painting. So it's very fun, very, very cool. But that's a little bit of the backstory of the Las Vegas Open. So once again, this year it's been held at the Rio, which is just off the strip, and it's been run by Dakota from Squad Games. They've run the last two previous Las Vegas Opens, and actually this will be my third Las Vegas Open and my third in a row. So it's very good. So part of the format is it's actually 9 rounds over 3 days. So you play on the Friday, the Saturday, and the Sunday, and all 170 players are split into 3 pods. You have pod A, which has, I believe, 75 players, pod B, which has 75, and then pod C, which has 30. All those pods play each other. On Friday, pod A does open, so Focus, and then pod B does Gallo Dark, and then they swap, and then pod B does Gallo Open, and then pod A does Gallo Dark for Saturday. And then after those 2 days, the pods are combined, and then on the Saturday you have everyone versus everyone in a 170 player showdown. And it's cool. It's really fun. It does sound quite competitive, and it is, but it's really, really nice. So going from last year, when I first played, one of my criticisms were that the round timings were too tight. Like it was 2 hours, but then it was like 15-minute breaks between each round. So Dakota's format is actually really cool because he listened to feedback from 2 years ago and implemented it last year, and it's basically the same. So you start a bit early, around 9 a.m. Then you have like a half an hour break. No, you have an hour break for lunch, and then you have like a half an hour break for the final round. So by most of it, you're done by 5 p.m. So you actually have time to explore LVO, Las Vegas, and hang out with your friends. And I really like how he does it. There's no top cart. There's no, well, like the pod system is there, but by the end of it on Sunday, everyone is playing everyone. So it's really, really cool, really, really fun. And it's designed for competitive players as well as new players all alike. I believe there's actually, I think something crazy like 60 brand new players to the Las Vegas Open who are actually new, like this is their first tournament, which is really, really cool. And it's a testament to how well Dakota and Squad Games, like all his crew, runs it, because it's really, really fun. They'll be streaming it on Squad Games Entertainment on Twitch, so you can watch along live, and they'll probably post the videos also onto YouTube eventually. So it's really, really fun. They also stream the World Championships of Warhammer, so you're in for a good time, whether you're playing or watching at home. And then finally, we have the board layout. So the biggest thing is, for these custom layouts, Dakota makes his own terrain, MDF. It is a little pricey, but I find it's the best, right? Because it's the way it's specifically designed for Kill Team. He's made some his minor tweaks to the Vocus maps, where the most notable thing is there's no second floor vantage, so it's only first floor vantages. But he's also designed 5 new Gallowdark maps, which I will link down in the episode description below, which are his updated asymmetrical maps. Now, my problem with the Games Workshop Gallowdark maps is that most of them suck because they're big, wide rooms. But Dakota's changed it so it's not that, and it feels more like last edition's Gallowdark, which is really, really good. I've given some feedback as well, and he's thoroughly tested all these layouts. They look really, really fun. Another interesting thing he's added to these layouts is each map has one wall which is you can just traverse through. It's like a broken wall, which he says adds a lot of depth to Gallowdark, which it does, because it's now something you can't block. Is you don't open, you can just run through. It does count as accessible, so it's an inch to pay, but it kind of offsets how mazy and dense Gallowdark is. So it's really, really nice, and I'm looking forward to those. It's just nice to see good Gallowdark maps again. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays, because normally teams like that dominate because of the large rooms. Can't do that anymore. So it's going to be really interesting when you come to teams like Ratlings and even Hyrotech Circle, who can't really exploit those big, large rooms, which is the worst thing about the new Gallowdark maps. But it's so hype. And yeah, I can't wait to play it. And, you can use these layouts yourselves. I know a lot of people have around the world. And the people who have actually, Dakota's used their feedback to improve the maps and layouts. So I would highly recommend checking them out if you haven't already. Now, we do have some notable players because it is the finale of ITC. And it's quite intense. So, here's the top 10 of ITC, as you can see. You've got Carlos first, then the legendary Kimmy Jelly in second place, rank second, then myself, rank third, then you've got Ace in fourth, Shane from Command Point in fifth, Chris Chicken Wing Baki in sixth, Jeshua, also from Kel Team, is in seventh, Orion, the champion, the American Eagle, is eighth, and Tom Robinson from the UK is ninth, and then you've got Javier, who came second at Worlds. And from that list, the people who are going to be at LVO are Kimmy, me, Chris, Jeshua, and Orion. And there's a lot of people not in the top 10 who are going in it. And because it's 9 rounds with 170 players, there are crazy points on offer. So I believe it's something wild, like if me or Jimmy finish in second or third, it might boost us to number 1. But then on the flip side, anyone from the top 10, if they win and me and Jimmy don't place, they could finish number 1. So it's going to be really, really fun. It's going to be really hype. But obviously, we've been seeded. So if you're not unaware, for what Dakota does, Pod A and Pod B are allocated based on your ITC points. So I'll quickly go through the notable players in each pod. So some of the notable players, there's lots of good players across the pods, but these are some people you should know or need to be aware of. So we obviously have Chris Baki. He won the West Coast Championship just gone by. He was in the World Championships of Warhammer. He's one of America's best players. He is playing, this year has been playing Inquisitorial Agents, but we'll see what happens because I'll get to team selection in a bit, but he's very, very good. Then we also have the one and only Kimmy Jelly from Kel Team, the founder of Kel Team, who's currently ranked number 2 in the world. So it'll be interesting to see what team he picks. We'll also be having the legendary Orion. He actually won LVO 2 years ago, and I believe he came second last year. So LVO is kind of his thing. He takes it very, very seriously, but he's a really nice and fun player. And then we also have Vivek Ramesh. I actually think he came second last year. He did come second last year at LVO because he beat Orion in the final round, which actually allowed Adrian from New York to win ITC and win LVO and win ITC. So he's got very good as well. There's a lot of good players. It's kind of Pod A is a bit tough. It's got a strong, like, condensed of players. But let's go into Pod B. So in Pod B, you've got Blaine and Brett from Six-Sided Legion. Both are at Worlds. I'm not sure what they're going to run. They kind of hover about, but they're very good. And they also have a great YouTube channel, which you should check out. Then we've also got Jason and Jeshua from Kel Team, who both have been at the World Championships of Warhammer and are now LVO veterans. So both doing really, really well this year and are very good. Then myself, which doesn't matter, it's fine, don't worry, it's just me. As well as Mike Cortez from New Jersey/New York, who's also a very good player and was at Worlds as well. I think this is his third LVO. So you've got a nice selection of pods, you know, you've got lots of good players, and then C-Pod has a nice spread. So whoever you're going to root for, let me know down below. Unless you've also got friends going as well, which is, there's a huge, actually, Canadian contingent going, which is really impressive. The Canadians always make a good show of LVO, which is really, really nice. I think I am the only British person going, like, from the UK this year, which is a shame. But nice, you know, there's a lot going for 40k in Age of Sigmar. It would be nice if more people came from the UK for Kill Team, but it is quite difficult and expensive. So completely understandable why. Now, here we go into team selection and most importantly, balance. The deadline for team selection has been extended the Thursday before LVO. And the reason is because there's no balance data slate. We are waiting for the balance data slate. We all expected it to be at the end of December or the first week of January. As of recording, it is now like nearly Friday, the 10th of January. It's like 11 p.m. on the 9th. If it drops on the Friday or the Monday next week, I will be happier, but it still does not excuse what Games Workshop has done. Now, I know people will be going like, oh, why would they drop the balance data slate before LVO? Obviously, they want to take in the data and then post it after. Now, the thing is, everyone knows the meta is horrible. The World Championships of Warhammer meta wasn't great. And while there is a meta, it's effectively about 6 teams, which isn't good. It's not really enjoyable to play in, and everyone's sick of it. So it's not like, oh, we might find new problems at LVO. We already know what the problems are, and it's the top 6 teams in the game. What makes it worse is apparently the balance data slate has been done. We don't know why it's been delayed. If I was guessing, I would suppose something to do with the app, because it would explain why the Plague Marines were delayed / randomly dropped. And if they are tying the balance data slates to releasing on the app, why? Just release it immediately and then go the app will update later, if that is the case. If it is actually true and it's been done since like end of December or after Worlds and they've just been waiting on it, like literally why? They knew LVO was coming, and Games Workshop have actually previously released balanced data slates for not just Kill Team but other game systems, usually at least 3 weeks before a big event. So notably, this happened before like Adepticon, Nova, as well as even the World Team Championships. I understand there may be other things I'm not aware of about why it's been delayed, but it's frankly quite ridiculous. Even if it drops on the Friday when this video goes out, or the Monday next week, it gives everyone going to LVO, unless they're prior knowledge, like, what, 3 days to figure out what to bring and play? And, you know, people may go, oh, just let them drop it after LVO. And it's like, but there's nothing to learn. We know what the problems are. Where it's just going to make LVO suck from a gameplay standpoint because we're forced to play a horrible meta. And the other issue is, I know people may say, well, why not just lock in teams now? Well, Dakota actually made a good point on this podcast where he was like, the issue is if they release an update, let's say late next week, the Wednesday or Thursday, it updates the app and it also will replace the PDFs. So if people then download the new PDFs and delete the old ones or update the app and go off the app, there's actually no way to safely enforce people use the old rules instead of the new rules, because this is actually a huge problem. So it's like most people will be able to do it correctly, but you could get innocent and bad actors who would abuse the situation and just cause mayhem. Because it's like when you've got 170 players, that's 65 tables to track. That's a lot. No, it's more than 65. It's late. It's math. There's a lot of tables to track. And frankly, I'm quite disappointed in Games Workshop. I'd be, I'll say they're positives when they've done really well. But as a competitive player, after like how not great the World Championships of Warhammer was from a like organizational point and like a player perspective, the fact that a similar issue is happening with the Las Vegas Open, which isn't some kind of small indie. They know what the Las Vegas Open is, and this is turning into Iran. But I'm just like severely disappointed. Like my best case scenario is they release it the Friday the video goes up, or the Monday of LVO. Because the worst case scenario is actually it comes out the Thursday of LVO, because I'm flying on the Thursday. And if they haven't done the Balance Dataslate yet, I've been advised by Dakota to just bring multiple teams and pray. Like, but that's literally the best you can do. And it's just wild. It's just wild they've put Kill Team in this situation, which is really annoying after they've put so much support for the game. Really, really frustrating. It's the only downside for LVO, apart from being in the Rio. But it's just really annoying. So this is my rant aspect, and partly why I made the video. Because it's just silly. Where's the Balance Dataslate? Why is it being delayed so much? But anyway, that's how team selection is working. So currently, me and a lot of other players are going, well, if the meta doesn't change, we bring this team. If it does change, well, it's going to be a scramble. So it's going to be a quite entertaining LVO to watch regardless. And then the other thing is the setting. So it is in the Rio. The Rio, I'm going to be honest, it's not a great hotel. I do not like the Rio. It's quite old. I know it's been renovated, so I haven't seen the full renovation. It's partially renovated. I did get emailed warning, you may not be able to sleep during the day because there's going to be a lot of noise, which should be fine because I wouldn't be there during the day. But if you haven't been to the Rio before, what you maybe find quite shocking is that smoking's allowed, at least in the casino area, which is where you usually have to walk past. But it's been renovated. There's a lot more food stores and stuff. You've got the Penn and Teller Theatre, which is unfortunately closed during this period of LVO, which is very depressing for me. But then you can also explore the Strip. So that's nice. But the Rio is a really weird hotel. It's weird. I kind of wish they would either choose somewhere on Strip. I know it's kind of limited by space, but also there's like, I believe actually even the Las Vegas Esports Convention Hall, which would be perfect. I mean, it's not a hotel, so there's no way for like players to stay in the venue. Like, because the nice thing, I'm staying in the Rio, so I can literally just come down and walk into the gaming hall. So, you know, there is that. There is also the Warhammer preview, which may show something for Kill Team. Unfortunately, it looks like it's not, which is apparently breaking like a 7-year streak for LVO. But who knows? They may be kind and go like, look, you didn't get Balance Dataslate. Here's the next box. Go, go, go. So for the Las Vegas Open 2025 overview, it's going to be a really fun event. It's literally the largest Kill Team event we've ever had, breaking last year's record holder, LVO, and Dakota's done a really good job to make it a really fun and welcoming experience. No matter what kind of player you are, competitive, casual, just having a laugh, you could do it all. And I actually am really much a big fan of having no cut. The fact that it's 9 rounds, I believe with how it all works, there will be an undefeated player after round 7. So it means if you want to win LVO, you literally have to go 9 games undefeated. You can get away with like 8 wins and a draw, but it's super hard to do. And because you've got this constant chance that it's never over, you can kind of afford losing 1 game. It makes it very interesting and fun. So you still have a chance, even if you don't if you don't come out top from the pods, because by the end of Saturday, there will be 2 undefeated players, 1 from pod A and 1 from pod B. So there's always a chance to win, and that makes it really, really fun. I've actually grown off having top carts and, you know, proper finalized pods. It just makes it more interesting if you're playing a long weekend. Then also it's got custom terrain and layouts. Like the highlight is Dakota's Gallowdark maps, which are far better than the official Games Workshop ones. I'd highly recommend them. They get rid of the long open rooms and make it feel like more like classic Gallowdark, which is great. There's no Beta Decima, by the way. There's none. I think there's somewhat like 1 narrative board of Beta Decima, but there's none. The only really big issue, unfortunately, is waiting for the Balance Dataslate, because effectively, if it drops the Thursday of LVO, it will be used, and we are currently waiting for the Balance Dataslate. So we're all in like horrendous limbo, and I actually think it would be worse if they dropped it like the Friday or after LVO. Such a bizarre situation, so bad. And yeah, it's going to be great. Like, there's so many international players going. It's the finale of the independent tournament circuit, so ITC, and there's a good chance whoever wins could become the grand champion of ITC. Now, not only does that give you unlimited bragging rights online, but you also get a free golden ticket to the World Championships of 2025, and I believe it would be fully proper golden ticket, so a fully upgraded golden ticket, so you'd get free flights and free hotels. And if they match what happened last year, the person who wins ITC will also get every Warhammer Kill Team release for a year. So that's pretty hype. But obviously we're in it for the E points. It's all about the E points. It's great. That doesn't matter too much. Notably, there are no Spanish players going, unless the Spanish players have adopted American pseudonyms, and like we're going to just see Carlos reveal himself at the event, an ace, and just go, haha, we're back. But it's a shame. Once again, I understand why there's not many European players apart from just me this time. It is still very expensive to go. But with how, the tournament system is changing, if you are chasing ITC points and you do want to win, LVO is the place to be. It decides the fate. Will it be America returning to reign over the competitive scene, or could it be someone from the UK? Let's say some kind of Welsh player who likes dragons. Who knows? Anyone could win, which is really, really hype. And the greatest thing is, like, you don't even have to be in the top 3. Someone from the top 10 could get it. So it's so cool. It's fun. And the best thing is actually seeing all the players. Like Dakota, Squad Games, they're all so much fun. Everyone from that scene is really great. They're the main reason I keep going back. You will have fun no matter what you do. And that's probably why they've got 170 players. Next year, I wouldn't be surprised if they get 200. They keep growing. It's really fun, and I'd highly recommend you going. Literally, the only downside is technically the Rio itself, and when you're like held hostage waiting for the Balance Dataslate. But that's pretty much it from me today. Please remember to like and subscribe as well as comment. Let me know what you thought of today's video. What do you think of LVO? Are you going to be playing, watching? I'll be there, so if you're there, come and say hi. What do you think of it being the world's largest event? And remember, I've got a Discord you can check out for free in the episode description below, an affiliate link at Element Games, an affiliate link and discount code at Crossfire Games, and a Patreon if you want to give me some more support. And I'm just going to quickly shout out my patrons: Tom, Supercow, Sam, Nick, Mercenary Q, Mr. Meatwad, Lucas, Jeremiah, Graham, Fangzu, Draken, Dave Meets World, Darcy, Dan, Dad of Goldens, Chris, Amorphium, and then for my veterans of the crew, I have Samja and Mark. So thank you so much for all your support. It really means a lot to me and helps support the channel. Yeah, so LVO is going to be really fun. I'm only annoyed I'm getting there the Thursday. Normally I land the Tuesday or Wednesday, but work was a bit tight. I was actually planning to land on the Monday to like hang out with my friend, because me and my friend like hang out at LVO from the UK, which is really, really nice. There's a lot of cool things to do. We're going to the Bacchanals buffet again, which is so good. So good. But yeah, I can't wait to see my international friends as well. All the Kill Team people are so good. And LVO is pretty much a blast. The only problem is I think I would have reached the hotel by the time the preview show starts. So I'll try and watch it if I can. But it's going to be hype. My biggest stress is like literally what team. I am packing 3 teams, and I might put 4. We'll see. I just want the Balance Dataslate to drop now. But regardless, LVO is going to be fun. And remember, no matter what happens at Las Vegas and the Las Vegas Open, you always have a chance to win, as long as you can roll a crit.